So you're interested in a Casio dive style watch, but you have a small wrist like me. Maybe, you know, my wrist is 6 1/4, but you know, you got a smaller wrist, a wrist that will not fit your typical Casio Duro. And it seems like there's no options for you, but I wanted to share 5 dive style watches that I've come across that I've bought over the years, and maybe introduce you to a dive style watch that you might like that will fit someone with a small wrist. I have reviews on all of these individual watches, but I wanted to quickly go over them and just kind of compare them sort of to each other, just some things to consider if you are looking for that dive style watch that happens to be a Casio. So first up is the MTP-1053. Hold on, I'm gonna put this on my wrist because I hate it when people hold the watch the entire time. I'll get close-ups of it, but I got on like a rubber Barton strap here. This is the black version. This comes in 2 different colors. Size-wise, let me just say that this will fit you really well. It has the 200 meters, so you don't have to worry about that. And it could be a little busy, I guess, compared to your traditional dive style watch. I actually like the big numbers. Some people may not like that, but I actually like the big numbers. Makes this watch look different. I will say these are older, so they're maybe harder to come by, but they're out there. I do like the red accents though on this one, which is why I think with the strap I went with the red and black one here. Just kind of a fun option. But you might want to consider this option. Fit-wise though, I would say this is absolutely perfect. Although it's not your typical exact same, you know, it's not a Submariner. It looks pretty close, and this is a pretty good option. Okay, second watch. This is, you can see a recent one. This is the MDV-10. And this is what I think people thought would be the mini Duro, except they took away like all the good stuff, but they did shrink it down. This tends to be smaller than you would think, because I think again I think they claim it's closer to 40, but I got it more at around 36 on bezel to bezel. Again, I'm measuring this distance here. It does have that Duro look. I do like the fact that it has a date window, but it is a little bit smaller, and I think some people may think, oh, it's like a women's size watch, and you know, it's small. I compare this to, I think Citizen has a series of their Pro Masters that are also kind of small, and they're a little bit too small. They're like maybe good for a woman's wrist, but for a guy, when it comes to a dive watch, I want something a little bit bigger. And so you might consider this. They have a lot of different colors. I went with the Pepsi dial here. It's okay. The strap is not really that great. It's extremely thin in my opinion. Just I guess narrow, I should say, not thin, just very narrow. So from a dive style watch perspective, I mean, it kind of has the look from far away. It's just like shrunken down, and I would say like for children. So if you're into that, you might want to check this out. All right, so next is the MTP-S110. Now, this watch is big. I would say this does not pass my eye test of, does this watch look big on my wrist? I have to ask that several times, and if I have to ask that, then the watch is, to me, too big. And so for a 6 1/4 inch wrist, I think it's big. It's a thin watch, but what I do like about this is the fact that it is solar. It has that look of a dive style watch. 100 meters of water resistance is probably good enough, and it has the day date, which is, are you gonna get that in focus? You gonna get that in focus? Yes? No? It does have the day date, so that's also nice. The color is also great. It has the black, white, and then of course the red accents. The lume on this is outstanding. So if you want to wear it for that, I think it's great. But for a small wrist, relatively small wrist like mine, I would say this is a little bit too big. This is probably maximum. It feels like a plate on my wrist because my wrist is not that wide. Even if it was thick, it's just not that wide. All right, now let's get to the real treasures, and I really think that Casio should bring these back. Excuse the watch not working. The battery apparently died. but this is the MTD-1010, which I get confused with this watch here all the time. They're basically the same watch, but this one is a little bit bigger. So this is the perfect Duro size. All I gotta do is re-release this and they'd sell out. I mean, you can put all the colors and all the things, but they would sell out because size-wise, this is it. This is the perfect dive style watch if you're a Casio collector with a small wrist. At 40, this is perfect. The only issue for me is they're harder to buy now because you can't really get them. They stopped making them. And then the one that I had, the condition was it's not great. It's some rust and things, but that's just mine. If you can get this online, again, the MTD-1010, if you can find this, I think it's one worth getting. Again, the condition may not be great. Mine was a little banged up. I didn't care because when I saw it and I saw the size, I'm like, okay, I want to chance it and I want to see how it looks. Again, it has the date, which I really appreciate. That classic look on, you know, on these dive style watches, but it's the size that is absolutely amazing to me. I think it's perfect. All right, but the last option, and this one might be this is a tough choice between the previous one, the 1010, and this is the MTD-1043. This is like a little bit smaller. So this one's like 40, this one's like 38, and then when you compare them, you can definitely tell the difference. I have this one on a, oh, I'm sorry about that. I have this one on Barton strap, just for it being comfortable, because it came on a metal bracelet, but it was just too jangly. I think it was too stiff. I don't know what was wrong with it, but I just instantly took it off and put this one on. I really think that this watch is at 38. That's what I wish this was, because this is a true 38 and this is like a pretend 38. This is a 36. So you got like small, medium, and then like large, if you want to consider it. But this is, again, maxing out at 40. This is like extra large. So when it comes to the 1043, this is, I don't know, I really don't know why they don't sort of bring this back. The font is, I don't know, it seems like a little bit different. I don't know what it is. It just, maybe to my eye, it just, I don't know, does it look different? Maybe because it's more compact, it looks different. But I've always thought that this watch just looked tighter. Like the font and stuff was just more smashed in. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. It just, when you think about it, it's, well, 2 millimeters less, so everything has to be sort of shrunken down. It does have 10 bars, which is great, or 100 meters. Water resist, again, all of these being quartz watches. This is great, and it's really thin and very light. On the metal bracelet, it was very jangly, as a lot of these general Casio metal bracelets are, like sort of like this one. It's just very jangly. But I think on silicone or whatever you want to put it on, rubber or whatever, it actually makes it feel really good. This watch, I really like this watch. Out of all of these watches, this is the one that I keep in the rotation, just because I like the 38. I like the feel. It feels nice. And so if I had to recommend one dive watch for a small wrist for someone who's looking at Casio, I guess it depends on availability, but I would say if you can get the MTD-1043, that is probably the winner for if you're looking for that dive style watch. If you want something unique, probably this one, the 1053. If you just want something classic, standard, it's gonna be the 1010. You want something with the cool features, the S110. And if you just want something really, really small and interesting, and I don't know, but then you can get the MDV-10. Anyway, just wanted to make this quick video on these different Casio divers for people with small wrists. There are a lot others, I'm sure, but these are the ones that I personally have bought. And yep, I think this one is the best. So thanks for watching.